everybody. Welcome to People of Pedal. I'm Nick, and today we will be interviewing Kalyn, who works at our downtown shop as a technician.
Mm-hmm. That's me.
All right, so diving right into it, Kalyn, what got you into cycling?
Well, I grew up kind of riding bikes. My dad was really into it, but it was when I moved here for college that I needed a way to get around. So I started riding a bike, and I started riding my bike farther and farther and farther. And yeah, next thing you know, I'm here.
And that's still your main way of getting around, right?
Yeah, I do not personally own a car, so I am pretty much getting anywhere by bike or by the grace of people with cars.
So you've been riding for a while, not just, obviously just to get around locally, but what inspired you to ride for, a long time ago?
Like in terms of like back when
Well,
I was
like
younger.
more who inspired you?
Who inspired me? That's a good question. I don't know. I think it really was my dad. He would encourage us to like ride our bikes into the farmers market every Saturday, and we would go, ride to get ice cream. And this wasn't like a mile down to the farmers market. This was like, I don't know. I swear it was like 10 miles round trip for a couple of little kids. I mean, we were on our own bikes from a pretty young age. And so that just, I think I grew up with like a respect for bikes and a love for them, and realized that they could be, I don't know, vehicles for liberation, I guess, and could let you explore your world a little bit more independently, especially as a young person who like didn't have, you can't do stuff as a kid without a way to get around. So bikes were that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Would you say that your dad was more of a mentor for you cycling, or was there other people involved?
I'd say that he was kind of the inspiration, but it sort of just became something that I found a love for on my own. I A couple years ago, I biked across the country with an organization called Bike and Build. They're a nonprofit that works to engage young adults in the affordable housing costs through cross-country cycling trips. And when I decided to do that, that's when I really started to like actually get into riding more than 10 miles here, 10 miles there, and started riding on the road more seriously. Because you have to if you're gonna do a 4,000-mile trip for like 3 months. And I'd say that like through that experience and with the people that I met there, that's what really like instilled this sort of deep passion for it. And that hasn't gone away, even though I've never done anything like that since. Like I still love to get out on my days off and go for longer rides.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, how would you say that you got into working on bikes? Because obviously you're a technician, so.
That's a great question. It's kind of a funny thing. It was more so out of necessity than anything else. When I started riding my bike just to commute in college, I mean, I knew nothing about it. I don't think I ever like put air in my tires for like, I don't know, 8 months. And then finally I started to kind of like play with my bike out of necessity. Things stopped working, and I didn't at the time I like didn't have the money to take it in anywhere, and so I would watch like YouTube videos, and then my summer out of my first year of college, I got an internship at Open Roads, which is the youth-based nonprofit here in Kalamazoo. And that internship, which was supposed to be mostly me doing like desk work and grant applications, turned into me like working in the shop and like begging to learn more and just hoping anybody would teach me whatever they could. And that was sort of the first time I ever really picked up tools or worked on bikes, and it was just like love at first sight. I kind of knew that it wasn't going to be a hobby for me, and it isn't. Yeah, don't do it at all in my free time. So yeah, so that's kind of how I got into it. and then was lucky enough to get a job at Pedal, and yeah, y'all took a risk on me, so here I am. Yeah.
Well, I think the risk paid off.
Hope so.
Well, in the service department, what is the favorite service that you like to perform?
That's a great question, because this is something I think about all the time. If I could like overhaul suspension forks all day long, I would. I love doing it. There's so many like little tiny moving parts. I think they're amazing the way that they work. Like these pieces of equipment have gotten so advanced and so light and are able to like take so much in terms of, you know, the conditions we ride them in and what the riders are doing with them, that I just think they're amazing. I think they're so incredible that we demand so much out of them, and I just love like getting in there and you know, all of the little tiny moving parts, and the stakes feel really high with them, which makes it like equally fun. You know, if you mess up, then you're in big trouble. So
Sure, yeah.
oh yeah, and that goes with anything, but I just love working on them. I think they're really interesting and a fun challenge.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
So on the riding side of things, what would be your dream ride?
Oh, I think about this one all the time as well. That's a really good question. This answer has changed over the years, but I think right now my dream ride would be to do a bike packing route through Alaska. There's so much like so many unpaved roads up there, and I think the scenery would just be spectacular, and it would be amazing to go, you know, somewhere where the world's a little bit more quiet, and to ride your bike out there, I think would be an experience unlike anything else. So that's my dream ride. Yeah, gravel roads and all that.
So if you were gonna have a soundtrack to your ride, what would you listen to?
Oh no. Time to think about this question. What would I listen to? Well, I think, man, Nick, you really threw a tough one. And my mind's going blank. I can't think of any music. I've never heard music. Let's see. I think right now, it would probably be the album Dig Me Out by the band Sleater-Kinney. I just read the biography of one of the guitarists from the band, and so I've been going back in and listening to their music. So my answer is Sleater-Kinney.
All right.
Not familiar.
Well, I think that's it for our long questions. I think it's time for our lightning round.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Lycra or baggies?
Lycra under baggies.
Okay. A little bit of both there. All right. Would you ride with a bike computer or just analog?
I like to have my bike computer on so that it can track my data, but I like to turn the screen so I can't see any of my stats. It's also nice to use it for GPS. So once again, a little bit of both.
That's how all the questions were probably going to end up. A little bit of both, right? Right. All right. Group rides or lone wolf?
I'm lone wolf. I like to ride by myself. If I do ride with other people, I like it to be like I don't know, maybe one or two other people.
All right. Would you rather be racing or cheering?
Cheering? Yeah, for sure.
All right. Water bottles or hydration pack?
Hydration pack. Anyone who has ridden with me knows I love my hydration pack. It's so easy. I promise I'm the most hydrated person in the group.
All right. Tubes or tubeless?
Tubeless, although I think I'm tubed on pretty much all of my bikes, more so out of laziness than anything else.
All right. And the final question, would you rather ride on pavement or gravel?
Pavement, only because I'm just starting to dip my toes into the world of gravel. So
Yeah, it's I think pavement's a little bit more accessible or where we live too.
yeah, and especially without having a car, it's not super easy for me to drive somewhere and ride. So I like to be able to just kind of leave from my front door and yeah, not have to spend 40 miles finding the pavement. So
Well, all right. Well, that's all the questions I had today. Thanks for joining me.
yeah, thanks, Nick. This was super fun.
Yes, it has.
We'll see y'all
All right.
soon.
Goodbye.